Hi everybody, my name is Mark. I'm a swimming teacher and STA Tutor, and today I want to talk to you about love water safely. First things first, I want to mention about why it's so important. So it's really important we keep ourselves and others safe in and around water to prevent any accidents from happening. Water is great fun. It can be very tempting in the summer, but it can still be very, very dangerous, as we never know hidden dangers such as how cold it is or how deep, any weeds, any mud, silt or plants under the water, things we can't see, rocks, bricks, tyres, trolleys, things like that we might hurt ourselves on or get stuck on. In larger places, larger planes of water, we might not know things about the current or the tides that are going to pull us out or pull us underwater. Even strong swimmers can get into trouble with strong currents and bad tides. And also pollution. We don't know what's getting put in the water from where, so it might not be safe to swim in. It might cause you harm. So to stay water safely, you need to try and stay away from edges so you're not slipping in. So if you're by a river or next to a coast, don't go too close to the edge, especially around cliffs, in case they start to crumble. Listen to any safety advice you're given. Follow lifeguards' instructions. Read the signs. Do what it asks you to do. They're there for a reason. They're not there to just stop us having fun. If you're going out on water, so you're going in a boat or you're going on a raft, make sure you wear the appropriate buoyancy aids. And if you are doing something like that, make sure that the activity you do is led by someone who's trained, an appropriate organisation who, if something was to go wrong, would be able to help. So why is water safety so important? Ultimately, it's to keep you, your friends and your family safe. It's to help you understand why water can be so dangerous, and to make sure we enjoy water safely, because water is great fun. It's good fun going to the beach, it's good fun going to the swimming pool and all those sort of things, but we need to do so sensibly. Then we need to think about how we can help others and how we can help keep them safe, especially those younger than us. So this is my friend Stanley. Stanley's come along here to help us with the Stanley Chant. Stanley says we need to spot the dangers. Stanley says take advice. Stanley says don't go alone. And Stanley says learn how to help. So I'm going to stop for a second, and I wonder if your teachers could just pause this and you can have a practice and see maybe which class or which group in the class is the best. Excellent. How did you get on? Do you all remember? Stanley says spot the dangers. Stanley says take safety advice. Stanley says don't go alone. And Stanley says learn how to help. On this picture, there are lots and lots of things which are dangerous. Again, I'm going to stop for a couple of minutes and ask your teachers to pause this just so that you can see how many you can spot. You might want to do it as a group, or you might want to do it as a competition one-on-one and see who can spot the most. Then we'll come back and we'll do it all as a group. See you soon. So, how do we do? Did you spot them all? Let's have a look and see what we got. So you got that poor boy there whose rope snapped. So you're going to play with ropes, you always need to just check that they are strong enough to hold you. Who spotted the ball? Who worked out that that ball might be about to hit the little boy in the blue helmet in the kayak? or the fact that he might be about to fall in and slip. What about that boy there? He looks like he's in trouble. And one of the scouts on the side looks like they're trying to help him. The rocks, who spotted them? And that boy that looks like he's about to jump onto them. There. We've got somebody else who's in trouble with a scout leader about to throw a football at her to see if she can help. Uh-oh, a big sign that says no swimming. And there's lots of people swimming in there and somebody about to dive in who's going to fall or land on the kayaks, possibly that girl underneath, and we don't know what's under that water. We've also got the little girl holding on that flower, which looks like it's ready to fall. She looks ready to fall in. Then we've got loads of rubbish here. So it's not in the water, but it's around the water. And you might stand on that and cut yourself, especially if you've been playing next to the water and you've got no shoes or something on. So it's about looking around you and making sure that everywhere you go is safe. While going out and about is brilliant, we've also got to be careful about what we do in the house. So, being water safe isn't just for when you are swimming. It also means keeping your house and garden water safe. Did you know people can drown in just 2 centimetres of water? Maybe in a maths lesson later, you could get a ruler out and just see how small 2 centimetres of water is. So we need to make sure that anything containing water is emptied after use as a start. So I've got 4 pictures here. I've got a washing machine, I've got a water butt, that's recycling water, I've got a fish pond, and I've got some sink with water in. Very quickly, again, in your class groups, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds, so the teacher can pause me, have a quick discussion around what the dangers are and how we could make them safe. So I'll leave you to it, I'll be back in a second. So let's see what we got. So answers, or some of the answers, you might have slightly different ones, but empty after use and remove the plug. That's our sink. Drain that water out. For our water butt, we need to cover with a secure lid so that nobody could fall into it, no one can get hurt. Our pond, we need to fence it off and cover it with a mesh. And a mesh that's strong enough that it could hold somebody if they tried to stand on it. Washing machines, keep those doors shut so that people can't climb in. Okay, let's look at some different ones this time. Again, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds just to think about how you could do this. So how can we make a bath, a bucket of water, and a paddling pool safe? Okay, how do we do? So, in our paddling pool, children should always be supervised with everything emptied and put away after use. It might not be your little one that gets hurt. All too often we see things in the paper where babies, toddlers and children have got into other people's gardens. Again, check these are empty. So after use, we need to empty our buckets and put them away. And a bath, make sure that we always supervise our children and remove the plug and let any water out. My favourite place, this is my happy place at the beach. So we should only swim where there is a designated safe area. And that's usually flagged by lifeguard flags. That's that nice red and yellow one at the bottom. If you've got a buoyancy aid, we should always try and put that on, especially around water on holiday. And be very, very, very careful if we're using things such as lilos or tyres, because they might drift and take you further out to sea. And that can happen really quickly. If If you are somewhere that you've got one of them, make sure you tether the lilo to the beach so you can't just drift away. Make sure you've got an adult with you and someone on shore who knows that you're swimming. Wear a wetsuit to keep you warm, and try and wear a hat so you can be easily seen, keeps your head warm, and will hopefully stop you getting sunburn, because you don't want to be poorly when you get home after your great day at the beach. And finally, stay safe and have fun. So while we're at the beach, there's lots of different flags, and those flags tell us things. The teacher might want to stop again for a couple of minutes here, but if not, we're just going to go straight in and look at the different flags that we might see. So we've got a red flag. That means danger, stop, no swimming. Red and yellow flags mean there's lifeguards on duty. So if you are going to swim, that's where it's safest to do so. Black and white checked flags. That means no swimming, but if you've got motorised craft or water boats and things like that, they can go in there. Again, it's probably got lifeguards on. Some that you might not see around the UK as much, but we've got a purple flag. That means dangerous marine life's been spotted. So sharks, we don't get many of them, but we can get lots of jellyfish. An orange windsock, that shows you which way the wind's blowing. If the sock's pointing out to sea, that means that you might get blown out to sea, especially if you've got your inflatables out, so you need to be careful. Green flags, that means the water's calm. Doesn't mean it's safe, you've still got to be very, very careful. You've still got to swim that lifeguard area, but it just means that it's nice and calm. There's not lots of big waves. So how can we stay safe near that water? Stick to our marked footpaths if we're walking anywhere. Don't go near any cliff edges. And be really careful after rainfall, because things might be slippy. Or if you're next to cliffs, things might start collapsing. Ensure you pay attention to that high tide and weather. And never ever go by yourself. Always go with an adult. And again, follow that water safety advice that we've talked about, and the lifeguards or the posters will say. In rivers, lakes and quarries, they're open water, and again, they can be really dangerous because there's normally very little rescue equipment available. You're often far away from the emergency services if something goes wrong, and it can be very cold. Sometimes the water at the top can be very warm and nice if that's where the sun's out, and if you put your hand in. But if you get a little bit deeper, it gets very cold. So we always try to remember to need to be safe. So we need to spot the dangers. We need to take the safety advice. Never, ever, ever go alone. Always take friends with you. And lastly, know what to do in an emergency. So we're safe. We spot, we advise, friends, and emergencies. This is the poster about our water safety in swimming pools. It talks about all the things we should do and not do if we're going to a swimming pool. Maybe next time you go to a pool, you can try and find one and try and see if you can work out and follow all those rules. Very quickly, let's see who can remember our Stanley Chant. So Stanley says, never go to the swimming pool if there's no lifeguard. Always listen to the lifeguard. Always look at the safety signs and follow them. Always play safe in the swimming pool. And very last, what would we do in an emergency? So in an emergency, keep calm. Shout for help. Phone 999, or if you're on holiday in Europe, 112. But never ever go into the water. Always stay safe and raise the alarm. Remember, you need to be able to direct the emergency services to somewhere that could help if something does go wrong. So that's just last thing. Let's see if we can do our Stanley chants again. So we've got 2. This is if we're out and about. So Stanley says, spot the dangers. Stanley says, take safety advice. Stanley says, don't go alone. And Stanley says, learn how to help. Or if we're in a swimming pool, Stanley says, never go into the pool if there is no lifeguard. Stanley says, always listen to what the lifeguards say. Stanley says, always look at the safety signs and follow them. And Stanley says, always play safe in the swimming pool. If you remember all these, you'll be safe around water. So maybe over the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, you could think about doing some posters of Stanley and how you're going to stay safe at the beach or the holiday pools this year. And let's remember, #love water safely.